Hi, Kelly Della Sala here, Program Director for the John C. Maxwell Certification Program, and I am so honored to be here with my friend John Maxwell. John, hello.
Hi, girl. Great to be with you, Kelly.
Absolutely. John, let's talk a little bit about the role of women today as coaches, as speakers, as leaders. What are some of your thoughts about that?
Well, first of all, Kelly, when I do Q&A, the question always comes up about women in leadership.
Okay.
And what I share with them is the fact that some of the best leaders I know are women. And first of all, what do I teach? I teach that leadership is influence.
Okay.
And then I say, well, how do you influence people? You influence people by adding value to them and developing relationships with them. Okay. So relationships is kind of like the foundation of leadership. And women are naturally more connecting and relating than men are. So I've often said the foundation for women to lead is probably stronger than it is even for men to lead. And so why couldn't women be great leaders? And one of the reasons is not because they can't be great leaders. Sometimes society doesn't let them.
Right.
You know, the culture suppresses that. I was interesting. I was just last November. I was speaking in Abu Dhabi, and I was in Dubai and some of the Arab cultures. And I was in Bahrain, and I was in a Q&A, and they asked me the question about women and leadership. And I looked at them, and I smiled, and I said, okay, I know your culture, and I respect you very much. But I said, I do want you to understand that women have all the gifts to lead that men do. It's not like they're shortchanged, and so therefore they can't lead. I mean, think about it. If leadership is influence, just think about this for a moment.
Okay. Last
century, it could arguably be said that the most influential person of the last century was Mother Teresa.
Right.
I mean, if she wasn't the most influential, she's got to be in the top 5.
Right.
Okay. Here's this beautiful little nun, streets of Calcutta, taking care of poor people, loving them,
right,
and having influence with presidents and kings and queens and heads of state, has a voice that perhaps transcends all other voices. She was a woman.
Yeah.
Had great leadership. Now, did Mother Teresa look at herself as a leader? Perhaps not. But she was a huge influencer. And what I want you to know is, if you influence people, hey, moms, influencing your children, that's leadership. In the classroom teaching, influencing your classmates, that's it, that's leadership. So leadership sometimes gets pigeonholed positionally.
Right.
And so we all don't fit that little hole. And so we say, well, I don't think I'm leading. But I'm so committed to really empowering women that I'm writing a book right now. I've written a series of books, started with a book called Running with the Giants, 10 Old Testament characters that if they could run one lap with you, what would they say to you out of the essence of their life?
Right.
And I'm writing a book right now on 10 women.
Really?
10 women in the Bible who really have something to say. And I'm going to call it, I think I'm going to call it something like listening to the giants or listening to the ladies, but listening to what they have to say because they have something to teach us. And I'm loving this book.
And it's focused on women.
It's all women. It's all women. And somebody said, well, how can you do this, John? I can tell you how I can do it. My mother had the greatest influence on my life.
Wow.
She loved me unconditionally, and she continually poured into my life, gave me great wisdom. And so I thought, I learned so much from her. Let's look at some women and let this be a kind of a leadership book for women. And I'm very excited about it. It's going to come out a year from Mother's Day, but it's going to be designed specific for women, and it's going to basically say, Kelly, women can lead on an exceptional level.
Right.
And we're finding that.
Which we know.
Yeah, we're finding that. Well, we're finding that in the John Maxwell team. Because we have a large percentage. I don't know what percentage of our people.
I would say it's 50-50.
I would say that looked to me about even. But we'd have half of our coaches. They're women.
Yeah.
And Kelly, there are as many success stories on the women and what they're doing with their certification as there is with the men.
You know, what surprised me when I, again, take surveys, I love talking to people, and I like to find out people's why. Why did you join the program? And versus, women versus men, a lot of the why of people joining our program, now this is advanced leadership training, and you give them the Maxwell philosophy. So they're learning your material, which is
Sure.
huge. But then people want to learn it, but then take that further to teach it within the businesses and so forth. But some people have no interest in doing that as a business. So they're getting in because I want to learn how to communicate and connect with my kids.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to communicate more effectively in my community. I want to get some more leadership skills to empower myself. Hands down, simple enough. So for a woman, it's a great program to be in.
Yeah.
Not to mention you're surrounded by some incredibly other, groups of women that are doing some wonderful things. But then let's go to the success stories. I mean, we have the first Black Hawk helicopter pilot.
Oh, wasn't she fun?
Elizabeth joined our program, and she's now the first public speaker to do that.
Yeah.
She's commanding audiences all over the world. Yeah. She's, from our training, now she's sharing the stage with Les Brown and doing her thing.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a woman in the Philippines who's gotten the National Coaching Award like 2 years in a row. Yeah. We have a lot of women who are finding to their passion. They've loved to coach and teach, and now we've kind of given them a business model to throw that into so that they can step into that role and be what they want to do. So I am really proud of everybody that gets involved with us, but then you see them grow and develop. Again, some people come in for one reason, and then they realize they can do so much more with this program, and then here they are today. So it's been exciting.
What I've discovered, Kelly, is that women really thrive in an environment that values them. And what we're really trying to do with the John Maxwell team is we create that environment.
Yes.
When you come and be a part of our family, one of the first things you're going to discover is that we greatly value you and believe that you have all of the gifts necessary to reach your God-given potential. And so perhaps you're kind of saying, wow, I would like to go to another level of significance in my life, but I'm not really kind of sure where to go. I would just encourage you to think about us. And the reason for that is I can promise you that on the John Maxwell team, you're going to find a place that will equip you well for success. No question about that. We'll place you into an environment where you are incredibly valued and will allow you to be part of a networking team to where you find other women that are just absolutely growing, and you develop friendships and partnerships that are going to last throughout a lifetime. And I'm really proud. I'm very proud of our ladies, and I think they're doing so well because we believe they will do so well, and we want them to do so well, and we give them all the reasons to do so well and give them all the support to reach their potential. And that makes me real proud because I think the more women that we can really train and equip, really the better our country is going to be, because there's a lack of women in the leadership stage, not because they lack potential,
Right.
but I don't think they've been valued and empowered to the place of getting to that level. And I think that's what we're trying to do on the John Maxwell team.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
Thank you.